Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Okay, so it turns out that Lucky's liver is not viable. Apparently, because he travels all over the world and stuff like that, he must have picked up some sort of parasite. And so Liz is like, your liver at this point can kill him. Even if they're able to sit there and get the infection out, the parasite or whatever out, Lulu doesn't have that type of time. So unfortunately, it's not really anything that Lucky can do. And in a large sense, I feel for him, right? There's nothing worse than feeling helpless that you can't sit there and save the one that you love. There's nothing you can really do except for watch them wither away. Okay? So I get that. Here's the problem, right? Well, I understand his anger and frustration and sadness. What he does next is just completely out of pocket, right? He goes to Bobby's and he asks the waitress to speak to Carly. And the waitress is like, yo, listen, she's not here, but I can sit there and give her a message or anything. For some odd reason, he tells everybody to leave. And then he freaks out on everyone. And I'm just like, bro, are you kidding me? One of the things I generally hate with walking in restaurants or dealing with people, even my job, is when you make your problem everybody else's problem. That that annoys the shit out of me, right? Like him yelling and spazzing out at everybody else was completely unnecessary. So he yells at everyone like a jackass, right? And then he proceeds to tear up the restaurant. And I'm like, are you out of your goddamn mind? What the hell is the matter with you? Listen, I get getting angry and stuff like. Go to a gym or hit a heavy bag or something like that. You're gonna sit there and tear up your family's business because you're upset, bro. There's better ways to sit there and handle that shit. Like, go sit your ass in the corner somewhere, cry it out, do whatever you gotta do. But really? So you see in the previews, Jocelyn probably walks in. It's like, what the hell is going on? Now Felicia. The thing that annoys me in this scene about Felicia is not only is she being a busybody and butting into Robert's and Diane's relationship because of her friendship with Holly, which, by the way, you know who Holly is. You're not stupid. You know exactly who Holly is. You know that Holly is trouble, right? And you know that Robert is in a good place and has a relationship. So why the hell you choose to start telling her to see Robert is beyond me. It's out of pocket, and it's pretty. It's just out of pocket. But then she sits there and tells Mac, well, eventually they're going to sit there and see each other. Okay, well, if that's the case, you didn't need to sit there and point her in Robert's direction because, like you said, eventually they're going to see each other. See, that was my issue. Mac is like, why would you sit there and point her? Why would you sit there and tell her to go to Robert? And Felicia tries to make it seem like, well, they're going to run each other eventually. Like she didn't sit there and do it. But you did. So you just look even dumber, if that's even possible. And Mac has valid concerns. First of all, he's in a relationship. Second of all, he's in a good place. And you know Holly's history. But she stands there and acts like a dingbat, like she doesn't understand. Like she either doesn't understand or she doesn't care. But with that being said, she turns around and she sees another PI. She's wondering what's going on. Now, at some point after she finished talking to Carly and Lucas and stuff. The PI walks up and is like, what's the deal with that guy and Carly? I thought that Carly was in back together with Sonny. Like, what's that about? Why is she sitting there flirting with that dude or whatever? Because that woman was sent by Marty to sit there and try to see the story that's going on with Carly and trying to poke holes um in her alibi. So while that's going on, Felicia's system, no, that's her brother and everything like that. He's gay. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not doing anything. But that, not Diane, Holly, after seeing Robert, well, actually after being pretty much kind of kicked out by Mac, is talking to I guess, the fence or whatever. And long story short, those diamonds are probably too hot. So now she wants to sit there and try to get in touch with Sonny. I don't really understand why she would go to Carly. I mean, I guess she went to Carly to try to be like, hey, I heard you two are back together. Could you get me in contact with Sonny? Aren't you two back together? Now, while that's going on, that I guess the PI or whatever is like walking close or whatever with her dog, try to overhear and everything. But Carly turns around like, what do you need or whatever? So she comes up with some funny story or whatever, just to try to cover up. So she couldn't really get anything. And Carly's like, try the restaurant or whatever. That's where you'll find where Sonny's at. Riley's pretty resourceful. I don't understand why we sit there and go to a middle person when you could just go directly to Sonny. It ain't hard to sit there and track Sonny down. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So anyway, yeah, Holly comes to sit there and visit Robert. They chat a little bit. She asks about Diane and how is Diane doing, like she really cares. And Matt comes in there. Matt is like, hey, listen, we gotta sit there and talk about, police official business, whatever. So, like get out pretty much. And after Holly leaves, Mac is like, what are you doing? Aren't you dating Diane? Like, you know how that woman is. And just pretty much kind of giving them advice like, stay away from Holly. She's bad news. She's like a bad drug dealer. You know how she is. And long story short, Robert pretty much just like, I got this. I appreciate. At first, he tells him to get out, but then he kind of just tells him, "Hey, listen, I got this. I'm good. Like, um, pretty much, I appreciate the you looking out for me, but I got this." Now, I did kind of skip over the fact that after Liz tells Lucky the bad news, Lucky goes to visit Lulu and apologizes, and Rocco comes in there. And long story short, when Dante gets there, Lucky has to sit there and tell them that, he can't sit there and donate. He doesn't even really get into the reason why. He's just like, I can't do it. And Rocco freaks out. So Sam comes there, and Dante is able to sit there and kind of get him to, calm him down or whatever, just by reminding him, listen, you got a detective, you got a PI, and the donor does not have to be family related. So we got this. Don't give up hope. Which is actually very hard to do because it's like you're trying to reassure your son. Hell, you don't even believe it. Now Sam was not there talking to Alexis, just kind of updating her on the search for the gun and how she couldn't find it, the police couldn't find it or whatever. And Alexis is like, you need to sit there and try to play mediator between your two sisters, specifically calm Christina down. And I get that Christina has went through a horrific event, right? But part of me just feels like she is a grown ass adult. You would think that she can handle her emotions a little bit better than how she's handling them. Like during her conversation with Marty, Marty's like, we got to sit there and try to poke holes in Carly's alibi. And Alexis is so freaking out, like, just make sure you don't go out to Sunny, because if you go out to Sunny, Christina's gonna sit there and wild out. She's gonna say something stupid, and it's like, when you can't trust your own daughter, your own grown ass adult daughter, to, you know, chill the f out, that's a problem. But long story short, what Martin really wants to do is create reasonable doubt. He just wants to sit there and poke holes in Carly's alibi to create reasonable doubt. Create reasonable doubt, get Alexis out, and as his words, babysit Christina. Because, that's what we need to do now. We need to sit there and babysit her like she's not a grown ass woman. And, Martin's like, I need you to sit there and free my hands so I can do my job. And, there's parts where she sits there and be sarcastic and stuff like that. I'm like, well, you're not in a position to sit there and be sarcastic. Like, you're really not. You sat there and you try to represent yourself, and you look and you saw how that went tits up. And yeah, she keeps talking about, oh, well, I'll find another lawyer. I'm like, this is why it's very hard for me to feel bad for her. In her state of, like, she could be locked up for jail, and maybe even serve the death penalty. Because I'm like, you being smart ass with the one guy that's trying to help you out, and you're doing so much to protect your daughter, and I get that, but I'm like, maybe you need to sit there and kind of chill out a little bit. Um, Jason and Anna, and Brendan, their scene didn't really go anywhere. I mean, their scene pretty much just to catch up the viewers on everything that wound up happening. So if you've been watching it, from when the story started to now, you would know, and there's pretty much no point of seeing that scene. Only thing that Brennan did sit there and ask was, what's the deal between you and him? And, she talks about how, Jason, he's competent, he's this, he's that, he's the third, and that, there's a gray area with her. But, like, I don't know. With Anna, she's kind of all over the place, and she is coming across as very hypocritical, because she's cool with Jason Smith there, blurring the lines left and right, but she'll go after people like Sonny, right? She couldn't date Duke because, he was in the mob, he was working for Sonny, but yet you're able to go out and justify going out with Sonny's mob enforcer. Now, towards the end, she does go to Jason and ask, like, we're gonna sit there and talk about this kiss. Like, what's up with that? You know. That's about it. One of the other things I want to sit there and say was I saw the previews, right? And I think Lucky goes to Jason and sit there and try to find a way to get back to Africa. And I'm like, wait, listen, are you kidding me right now? So you're just gonna sit there and just leave your son and freak out and be all upset because you can't, like, I get that you can't do anything, but, like, running away is not gonna solve anything. And after everything that they did to get your ass back, now you're just gonna take off? Like, I don't know. Lucky just vexed the living shit out of me today. Um, I'll probably have more to say in my live stream, but that's pretty much about it. I might have left like one or two things out, but that is the general gist of the episode. Now, as always, if I left anything out, write it in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on the episode, or better yet, also come to the live stream tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and the Beautiful, and Young and Restless. With that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.